Hey guys, Travis here on the second day of week 8 of LCS, joined by Prolly. Prolly, I interviewed you yesterday with a lot of Mortis, but after that game, I can't stop myself from asking you some more questions. So, are you just planning on pulling out an unusual AP mid every game? Should we expect to see more crazy picks from you in the future?
Most likely. That's just the most fun to me.
Okay.
But I honestly feel like it's gonna be like my grave. Like I'm gonna eventually get to a point where there's gonna be so many really good conventional champions,
Yeah.
and everyone's gonna be like, "Hey, pick Malzahar mid, man." And
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, "All right," and then we're gonna lose the game because I suck at Malzahar.
All right. Well, I mean, you could probably just not pick Malzahar.
I don't not have to.
Okay. So it's like a challenge.
Yeah, I love Malzahar. He's so much fun,
Yeah.
but I'm so terrible at him, and he's a pretty weak champion. So like mixes, and maybe I'll put him in competitive play to prove people wrong,
Yeah.
but it'll end up proving them right.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Anyway, let's look up because you just won that game. What happened in that game? Why did you guys win? I heard some people saying that it was only because of level 1. Do you agree with that statement?
I mean, maybe that's why top lane won so hard.
Yeah.
Because he got first blood and then went to lane with boots and a whole bunch of fun stuff. So he did really well, but the level one actually hurt me in lane really badly. I died to Karthus like level 2 or 3 because I didn't have flash or ignite, but luckily my jungler was close, so he got to clean up that fight. Um, I don't know. They basically like we practiced that comp all day yesterday, and it's really hard to scout teams in NA now.
Yeah.
So I guess they didn't do any scouting, so we predicted all their picks and all ours, and they actually picked exactly what we wanted them to pick for that comp.
Oh, really?
Like everything just happened to like line up really perfectly for us.
So anyway, I kind of going back to this like decision. Do you just have like a lot of strange mids that you play that you think are actually conventional? Like, do you actually think Annie and Ziggs are really good and people just don't play them enough?
Um, yes and no. It's their strength comes in the fact that no one knows their counterplay yet. Like you've seen a whole bunch of mids like Ryze and stuff and Karthus. Everyone knows their weak points. No one really understands the weak points of Annie, like when you can go in, when you can't, and same with Ziggs. So that's what makes them strong. As soon as people like join the bandwagon and you see them in solo queue, which I'm really sorry everyone if you guys see really bad Ziggs and Annies and stuff. But if you start seeing that, you're gonna learn how to deal with it, and then that pick is just gonna start getting a lot worse.
Okay. And that's when you then transition over to Malzahar.
Yeah, and that's when Malzahar comes out, and we go like 0 and 15, and then everyone hates me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, it sounds like there's bright things ahead for you.
Lots of hate.
Yes, lots of hate. Um, just you seem to be kind of. You said you were really nervous in that game. What was the deal? Like, why were you so concerned? It seemed like you guys had a solid lead the entire time.
I really don't know. Actually, no, man, everything just like clicked right when you asked that. Yesterday was the first day I played Annie. If that shows you how easy that champion is to learn, I literally played it yesterday for the first time, and that's when we kind of found that comp by accident. We like picked purely for lane, and that comp kind of fell out of it.
Yeah.
And then we're like, hey, this comp kind of works. Let's run it again. So we ran it a couple more times. So yesterday was the first day I played Annie because I just like picked from my lane. I was like, I want to see how good Annie is. So I guess that kind of contributes because I was super nervous today. But also it could contribute too. I really like ManCloud. I think he's one of the strongest mids in NA. So it's like, he's one of the people I watch and like look at his runes and masteries and his picks and stuff and see how he plays. Because there's a lot to learn from that guy. So it could be I'm playing against someone that I admire, and it could be I'm not a great Annie player.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that Annie is so easy that anyone right now could literally hit ranked solo queue and just insta-lock Annie and just kick ass?
Yeah, just don't flash all without your stun like I did.
Okay. Okay.
If anyone saw that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get crap for that.
You actually had one. You seem to do like I was following the Twitter chatter as I do, and a lot of the pro players were just like, "What the hell is with these flashes?" Because, I mean, maybe you had a mistake here and there, but a lot of your flashes would just be like you'd flash in and kill people. You seem to be really aggressive, like sort of like Reginald status, where like people don't really expect it. Is that something that you think is? First off, do you think that's true? And secondly, do you think that's something that's like going to be a huge asset to you going into the LCS?
Yeah, a lot of people in NA don't respond well to aggression since season 2 mids were so like farm oriented. They like change as people have bad habits from season 2. But the flash ulting that came from me playing Kinnan all the time because that's how you play Kinnan. You E flash ult on their E carry. So I'm really good just flashing ulting stuff like that's just like second nature to me. So that's kind of how it came about like with that. But honestly, I should be more aggressive than Reggie. Screw that guy.
Okay, screw that. You should be more aggressive than Reggie. Screw that guy. I like that. That's good. Uh, you know, sort of wrapping up, I think that you might start to develop a following. First off, do you wish you could? You're not in the All-Star voting thing right now. Do you wish that you were?
I would like to get like 1% just so I can be like all my friends back home be like, haha, you suck. I'm in 1%. But then they'd yell at me because I'm only 1%. I'm not good enough to get 2%. But just a little bit would be fun, just so I could point and laugh at my friends.
Well, I know yesterday I talked to you and we just sort of discussed like you entering the LCS, but now you're doing really well and you guys have had a lot of success. In fact, after yesterday, I interviewed you, and part of the reason I needed to interview you today, I mean, I couldn't again not interview after that game, but there's like fangirls now that are messaging me that are like, I saw your first interview with him, it was so good. Please interview him again. That's actually something that happened. There was a girl that reached out to me that said that. So is it just do you just see like cherry blossoms and sunrises and sunsets and I don't know a bunch of really nice things ahead of you in the future?
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not the kind of guy that's like, man, in a year I'm gonna suck. I'm gonna get my leg cut off, and I'm just gonna sit in a ditch for the rest of my life. So I mean, I guess I see cherry blossoms and stuff. That sounds pretty good.
Do you think there are a lot of people that actually have that other attitude?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's like actually like a lot of my friends back home. Yeah. Very pessimistic.
Yeah. Where are you from again?
Atlanta, Georgia. Mayretta, Wheeler.
All right. And that's just a really pessimistic place, apparently. Except for when you're calling it out in an interview, in which case it's a really optimistic place.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, all right, I just got to ask, coming from Atlanta, Georgia, now you're in SoCal, how are you feeling about the move?
Oh, I love California. Honestly, all I've seen is like driving here to like the Riot Studios till Granada Hills. Yes. Did I get that right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, yeah. So that's literally all I've seen. But I really like, there's a lot of nice mountain ranges and houses and stuff. So I really like the scenery, and palm trees are really cool looking. Yeah. And in Georgia, we don't see palm trees. So I don't know. I like the scenery. I haven't seen it as much as I should, though. Hopefully, like this weekend when we kind of have some time off, I'm going to go soil my roots somewhere.
What does that mean? What are you doing with your hands?
This is my roots, and I'm soiling them in Sunset Boulevard and stuff, and
Sunset Boulevard, that's where you're going to decide to soil your roots?
The only place I know, right? Isn't that famous, though? We passed it, and isn't Sunset Boulevard famous? It is?
Cameraman says it is. I think it's kind of infamous, isn't it, right?
I don't know. I just heard, that name just rings a bell, so I passed it, and I was like, hey, I want to go there. Yeah. Is that a bad place or something?
I don't know. I've heard mixed things. Cameraman says some parts. He's probably been there more than I have.
Okay, well, I'm going to go there and hopefully not go in the bad parts and have good times and silly places.
And that's it. You're like Southern California, Sunset Boulevard. That's the plan.
Yeah, and I would like to go to Coachella, but I don't have the money to afford that concert.
It's a very dangerous place for pro gamers.
Yeah. Nerds don't like crowds of people and like talking and socializing with girls.
Socializing. Well, again, you've got all these fangirls, so you might have to soon.
Well, I have a girlfriend. Sorry, fangirls. But I have a girlfriend.
You're never supposed to admit that in an interview.
I don't have a girlfriend, but I love her.
All right. Let's just sort of wrap up the interview. You have any shout-outs or plugs you want to make?
Yeah. To Sound Blaster, PNY, Origin, Newegg. Thanks a lot.
Dude, you did that on your second day, and there are still, they'll remain nameless, some pro gamers that have a hard time with their sponsors at the end of an interview. So you've accomplished so much in these 2 days. It seems like there's only higher and better things for you. So anything else you want to say at the end?
No.
Everyone, this is Travis on week 8 of the LCS with Prolly. This is day 2. You can check out the rest of our LCS coverage at gamespot.com/LCS. You had something else?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to say thank you, QPad, and to dispel all the rumors, I am not a young Steve Buscemi. You guys lie.